How's it going, man? Appreciate you joining me here tonight. How's things going?
Good, good. Just back to the regular life, really.
Yeah, I mean, now you're a UFC fighter. Has things kind of changed since, everything went down?
No, not really. Really just back to my day job, going to practice. Just the same things that got me there. Just when I go into camp, gonna work a little harder. I'm always training. I'm always staying active and stuff. And yeah, when I go into fight camp now, I'll do the same as I did my past couple fights. Just take off work and focus on the fight. And yeah, regular grind, man.
Yeah, I mean, can you kind of take us, the emotions going into, the Contender Series fight? Because we know that was on very short notice and it's the biggest opportunity of your career. So can you kind of, take us into your emotions going into such a big fight?
Yeah, I mean physically, and as far as like my body, I felt great because I was coming right to the end of a camp. So that whole part of it was fine. And as far as like the short notice factor, it was almost kind of nice. Like I'd already done all the worrying and stuff on like a different guy, and it didn't really pay to go through all those same emotions of fight camp over a different opponent. So it was I kind of just shoulder shrugged at it and was going to go into that fight and give it my all. I didn't watch any film or anything on him. I just had asked my coaches, to kind of mimic whatever, tendencies he has that I should be aware of. And we went from there. There really wasn't, everything went so fast to really get nervous about it. I already had all the nerves for a fight. I was supposed to go fight the Saturday, 3 days before that, or 3 or 4 days before that Tuesday. So I just knew that it was my moment to give it my all. And, I was gonna go get an exciting finish or die trying.
Yeah, did you expect how that went down, how dominant and how fast you were able to just kind of like, get it done? Because I mean, there was no feeling out process whatsoever. It was just like you
Yeah,
go in and get that done.
yeah. I think the day of the day of the fight, I had a lot of nerves and stuff. And I guess just I kind of just thought back on like all of the time that because I live like 40 miles from my gym. It's like a 45-minute commute every time I go there. So I thought about just all the miles, man, all the gas, all the time away from my family, and the time away from my kids, the money spent, the injuries. It's like, like I said, when the show interviewed me, I've been doing this for 8 years to get there, and I think between that and a little bit of fear, seeing Dana and the matchmakers and stuff sitting right over there. My biggest fear was being boring. And I think everything that I'd ever done kind of funneled into that moment. And I kind of just tuned into this berserker state and was going to go try to kill that guy, nothing personal toward him. Kudos to him. He's a good fighter. But that was my moment. And I know I put more into it than he did, whether he had a full camp or not. I knew I deserved that spot. So
Yeah,
I
I mean,
go.
you have one of the fastest finishes in Contender Series history.
Yeah.
It's not something that you normally see, and then you, like I said, coming up that it was kind of short notice, but yes, we're getting ready for another fight, but
Yeah.
it's it was still very impressive to just kind of run through a guy that was 8-1. A lot of people kind of that was his third. You're technically it was like his third opponent, I believe, coming into it, and he had a lot of hype around him, and a lot of people really didn't know you as much as maybe him, but you really kind of made a statement out there.
One second, man. What's up, sweetie?
What do you want, a plate or a bowl for your food?
I'll have a plate. You don't have to set the table right now, baby. I can help you when I'm done here.
And would you like a big cup or a small cup?
Small cup's fine. All right. Thank you.
That was cute.
My 6-year-old has gotten into the habit of setting the table for us for dinner. So
That's nice. My 7-year-old does the same thing for us, so I know how it goes.
Yeah. So what was the last question, man? I apologize.
No, we were just talking about how he had a lot of hype coming into this fight. He was, an 8-1 prospect. He had to go through the gauntlet of different opponents, but how did it feel to kind of get your name out there? Be like, I'm the one that should have been the favorite. I'm the one that, people should have known going into this fight and not him.
Yeah, it all. He had a bunch of hype, coming into it and stuff, and I really didn't pay that any attention. I didn't. The only day I really felt like true nerves was the day of the fight, like right before I left to take the shuttle to the actual fight. But once it came time, man, I just knew that it was my spot, and it felt so good to kind of seize the moment. And my name's out there a little bit now. I've
Oh
only
yeah.
got 1,000 Instagram followers. I think I had like 400 when I went on Contenders or whatever. So I know I had the viral like John Jones reel or whatever,
Yep.
but yeah, really nothing's changed, man. I just got to the platform that I wanted to get to, and now I got to prove I belong there, you know. And I think just doing me and the things that got me there is gonna continue on and stuff, and just gonna work harder now. So
Yeah. And talking about that viral moment, was that in your mind going like, oh, this is what I'm going to say afterwards, or was it just kind of like the heat of the moment,
yeah,
like, let's just fuck it?
no, I planned on saying it. But only had I done something kind of impressive, I wasn't gonna about to go win a boring split decision or
Right.
something, and then um it was something I thought about doing, but it had to fit the moment, and I think it did. Um,
Yeah.
but I definitely had thought about like what I was gonna do to make myself original on the show when I went in. I wanted to stick out from everybody else. Like I said, I knew it was my time. Like I knew it was my turn finally. Like like Latimer from the movie The Program. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like an old football movie, but
Mhm.
this guy finally gets to start on defense. Like he's like a place at the table. It's like I finally like felt like that spot had come apart had come up. But sorry, man, I trailed off. What was your question?
No, I was just saying. No, we're just talking about that viral moment because like now people not only gonna remember you for your
Oh
finish, but
yeah,
you literally have the biggest viral moment of honestly on this entire season of the Contender Series.
yeah. Like no, like I said, I didn't want to go out and win a boring decision and then try to do something kind of intense like that. And I also did agree with like Dana's standpoint on all of that, and also it just like everybody's kind of questioning him and stuff on it, and I've like the whole time I've kind of had his side on it. I'm like, dude, John Jones is the GOAT. Like there is no, have whatever opinion you will, but look at the facts. That guy's the greatest. Um, but the timing of everything seemed right, and I'm like, now's the time to say it. And I got a laugh out of him, and that was the other thing. I wanted to go in, I wanted to perform, I wanted to get on the good side, of Dana and the matchmakers, and then I wanted to connect with the audience too. And I think I did all of those things. The stars just aligned right for me. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, you have a name for yourself, and you're putting yourself out there, gaining more popularity, and I think the sky is kind of the limit. But talking about John Jones, he's got a fight coming up, big fight this weekend, UFC 309. I wanted to get your thoughts on his fight against Stipe Miocic, and how do you think that kind of pans out?
I'm a big fan of Stipe, but I definitely think John's gonna beat him. He's a little bit younger, and I think I don't want to take a dig at Stipe and say Jones is the smarter fighter, but I think he is. I think he's elite, man. I think it is what it is. I do think Tom Aspinall would beat him if they fought. But Tom's also a lot younger. It hasn't had nearly the run and stuff. Everybody's trying to. That's like a lot of the argument right now. It's like, oh, Tom would beat him. It's like, yeah, he would, but does that really count? That's like Jake
Right.
Paul if he beats Mike Tyson. So
True. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Pushing back to your fight game and your career, where do you expect to go from here? Right, like we're towards the end of the year. They're pretty much booked up for the rest of 2024. When can we kind of expect you back in there? And is there somebody maybe that you would love to just kind of mix it up with?
yeah, there's a number of names at the bottom of the roster, which is where I'm gonna start. I'm not gonna get into anybody specifically right now, but there's definitely between 7, 8 guys that I'm totally fine to debut against. Um, I would have liked to have fought before the end of this year. I don't think that's going to happen. It sounds like February or March I'll be in. Um, but as far as my goals and stuff, man, just 4-0 on this contract. Right now I'm still working a regular day job. I think making enough money off of this to just do it full time. Um, is the goal now. I've spent years just to be able to make decent money off it. Now I can do that. And for years, my goal was just to get to the UFC, and now I'm here. Now the goal is just 4-0, 4-0 impressively, and then I can renegotiate for, hopefully enough money to fight full time.
Yeah. Do you kind of expect to fight those 4 in a full calendar year, or
Yeah,
kind of just whatever
no,
happens happens?
I want like one every 3 months. Yeah, provided I can stay healthy and stuff. Um,
Right.
and the other thing is not take damage in my fights. If I can go my next 4 fights the same way I did on Contenders, that's obviously it's going to be a plus. I'm making for a longevical career if I can make everyone that fast.
I mean, the way you fight, it seems like you kind of could do that because you have the wrestling and grappling background, which is normally what people say is one of the best bases, coming into MMA. And do you believe that type of tenacity and that type of, that type of background will be able to take you far in your UFC career?
I hope so. That's the plan. I definitely, my hat's off to Justin Gaethje, but I'm just not interested in getting into wars like that. I got to keep a healthy head on my shoulders. I got kids and stuff at home, so should it come to something like that in a fight for a win, I will. But I'd really like to just keep things as one-sided as I have most of my career. A lot of people don't think I have hands, and I definitely do. I rarely get forced to show them. So
Yeah,
to just
smart.
doing what I'm doing, getting submission finishes or TKO ground and pound finishes, and I'll be a happy camper.
Yeah, that's the way to go. I mean, get in, get out. You don't get paid by the hour, right?
Right.
Well, man, I appreciate you taking time out with me. I know you got to go get some dinner, and, get some food in your stomach. Before I let you go, I want to know if there's any message you have for your old, current, and new fight fans that are eagerly waiting for you to step inside the octagon.
Just give me a follow on Instagram, man, at Combat Klein. And yeah, keep an ear out, keep an eye open, and hopefully in January or February or March, I'll be in there. So that's really it.